Welcome to 6 by 2 inches vlog. We are continuing our motivation theories lecture. This is lecture number 4. We are going to study Maslow's hierarchy of needs. If you haven't seen previous lectures, then before seeing this one, please do go through all the 3 lectures. So in last lecture, we have seen how in Murray's theory of needs, the needs play important role in determining motivation and behavior. So in Maslow's theory, the difference between Maslow and Murray is that Maslow has given hierarchy to the list of his needs, and he has divided needs into 5 categories, which is first physiological, second safety needs, third love needs, fourth esteem, and last one is self-actualization. We will see what self-actualization means. This was asked to me in the interview of CIP. So the Maslow had coined this term third force of psychology, which means humanistic psychology approach. So humanistic psychologists basically do not focus on the past of the person, and they believe that the person is capable to change or progress. And unlike Freud or other psychologists who viewed psychology in a pathological way, they do not view it in pathological way, but they see it as a like a growth or a field in where a person grows. And humanistic is about giving unconditional positive regard to a person for their growth, and not like focusing on their past or emphasizing much on their past, but seeing the strengths in the person and uniqueness in each individual. And so the division of needs are as follows: basic needs, physiological needs, self-fulfillment needs. So the books written by Maslow's are Psychology of Being, Waves and Peak Experiences, The Psychology of Science. So books are important if you're going to give IBAS examination of Delhi, because they tend to ask you the books and its author name, so you can just note it down, or else you just have to remember who coined the term and who is called as father of humanistic psychology. Okay, so what is self-actualization? Self-actualization refers to feeling fulfilled or feeling that we are living up to our potential. It means that we are constantly growing, and we are living the life up to our full capacity or potential. For example, Maslow, when he studied the traits of self-actualization, he referred and he said that these qualities are seen in people such as Mahatma Gandhi, Mother Teresa. These people are self-actualized, and they were living their life up to their potential. So this is the meaning of self-actualized. So let's see the basic assumptions of inner nature made by Maslow. Inner nature is a combination of characteristics of individual and of the species according to the Maslow's theory, and he viewed inner nature as being basically good but also very weak. And according to him, the inner nature is not bad, like it's either good or neutral, but not like initially bad. So initially the inner nature of any individual is good, but with time it can fall prey to the evils of society and it can become bad. Hence it is also very weak or fragile. The inner nature should not be suppressed. If it is completely and openly expressed, the individual is on the way to being a healthy, growth oriented person. He saw life as an endless struggle to grow and to reach one's full potential. Okay, so here is the diagram of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and it's important for your examination. You need to memorize the way it is. Plus, you can be asked question directly or indirectly based on the concepts in your net examination. For example, you could be asked like if a person is constantly seeking friends and warmth, then the person's need falls under which category according to Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Then you can refer to this diagram. I mean, not in the examination, of course, here. The right answer you will see is belongingness and love needs. So, this is the reason why you have to memorize this important point of his theory. And the needs are divided into five categories. The first one is physiological needs, which consist of food, water, warmth, and rest. Second is safety needs, which consist security and safety. Third is belongingness and love needs. Fourth is esteem needs, and in the end, it's self-actualization, which is achieving one's full potential, including creative activities. So again, these needs are divided into basic needs, psychological needs, and self-fulfillment needs. So the basic needs are safety needs and physiological needs. Psychological needs are esteem needs and belongingness and love needs. And the last one, which is self-fulfillment needs, is the self-actualization needs. So although the self-actualization is placed at the top in the hierarchy, you start from the bottom towards the up. You go from the bottom towards the up. That is, you start from physiological needs, then second is safety needs, and so on. Okay, so we are studying hierarchy of needs. Self-actualization is placed at top, but basic needs are prioritized over it, as I said in the previous slide. According to his theory, one must satisfy the needs at bottom of the hierarchy before attempting to gratify higher levels of needs. And in certain free choice situations, the gratification of one's basic needs will be prioritized over the gratification of other needs. For example, if a hungry child is given a toy or a food, then he will choose food over toy because he is hungry. And the prolonged satisfaction of a basic need will reduce its demands to low, or make it inactive. For example, if you are given like a nutritious diet on a regular basis, then your hunger pangs will be reduced. Or if you're being loved and your affection needs are fulfilled, then you will stop seeking external validation more, and because your needs are being met, these are your basic needs. And basic needs are categorized as innate and biological in origin, and Maslow named the basic needs as instinctoid. So highlight this point as well. They are universal in human species, but their instinctual nature is weak, so that their effects on behavior can be modified or inhibited by the environment. So what does this mean? The needs are universal in human species, right? But as I said, the nature is influenced by the environment. Hence, the needs can be modified or inhibited by the environment as the nature is fragile. Okay, so this was our last lecture on motivation. Now we are done with the motivation theories and chapter. So after this, you can take your time to revise all the videos because I will be forming MCQs in within 5 days based on all the previous lectures which I have uploaded. And so let's do the concept check. MCQs. Question first: who coined the term third force of psychology? I hope you will be able to answer this because we have directly covered this in this lecture, and I hope you have watched the whole lecture. So the options are A. Eric Erikson, B. Maslow, C. Freud, D. Rogers. Take your time, pause the video, then try to answer it by yourself and check the answer. Okay, so the correct answer is B. So do go through all the previous lectures because I will be uploading a MCQ mock test soon within 5 days, and all the best. Okay, so thanks for watching. Do subscribe and share the video with your friends, and stay tuned for more upcoming conceptual videos related to NET, JRF, set psychology, and for MCQs, which will be uploaded once a week based on the all the lectures which I will be sharing from Monday to Saturday.